Good morning guys, I'm Naya and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I decided we're going to be discussing the top cards from Ghosts from the Past, the second haunting. So, I have a bit more cards, I have 12, but I did group some stuff together, so you're getting even more. And please let me know down in the comments what you think. Also, overall, which cards are you going to be picking up? Which cards are you most excited about? All of that. And I would like to encourage you to subscribe also. A lot of you are still not, and I would love for you to be part of this community. With that being said, we can go ahead and get started. And the first two cards, they're two in one slot, and it's basically going to be Vision Heroes Faris and Increase. It makes sense to put both of them together. I mentioned in a couple of my previous videos how those cards were very, very, very inexpensive. I clearly remember to this day, I picked up 3 of each and then 10 more cards, I think, from the set when it dropped for 10 or 15 euros all together. So essentially I paid 2 to 3 euros for every single card. So yeah, it's insane how all of that just rose up in price so much, and heroes are known to sort of just be expensive and have been known for the longest time, with the new support also being very expensive with the Adasta Gold and Malicious Bane. So I love seeing cards like these for decks that aren't exactly as competitive but are looking to be sort of dangerous and you need to look out for. And yeah, I love how they're getting, cards more accessible to them if a player wants to just pick them up and not legit just go bankrupt because you need to pay for 3 Faris and 3 Increase. So I love that for this set. The next two are going to be the Zero Rage and Copernicus for the DDD deck. DDD, I think, is a very cool deck. It's kind of hard to pilot, but if you master it, it's very rewarding. And it's very strong, has incredible follow-up, and just overall DDD is a fan favorite. So I love seeing cards that are a bit more on the pricey side get reprinted. So if someone wants to pick this deck up, it's very, very, very cheap, and it's always cool to see a competitive deck also be budget together, so I love that. Then the third card is going to be Aluber, the Jester of Despia. We have all been excited about that for the last, I guess, month, ever since the leak. That was hard to say. Ever since the leak, basically, all of us were hyped for that. Aluber was so pricey, it was insane. It should never have been that expensive, but Despia is sort of going wild, and it is going to be going wild for some time now. So yeah, it's going to be a nice deck moving forward, and I think it's so cool that Aluber is going to be a bit more accessible. It's not going to drop down as much as maybe it could have, I think, but it's still cool to see, copies that aren't exactly $100+ each. Then we have something a bit less competitive, but also very nice to see a reprint, and it's going to be the fourth card. It's going to be Galaxy Soldier. So Galaxy Soldier was expensive ever since I can remember. I know it's been an expensive card. You need to reprint those cards, and I love that they're doing this for this set in particular. Ghosts from the Past felt a bit lackluster last year, so I think it's cool that they're sort of fixing it with cards that people really need, and Galaxy Soldier was very expensive, when it really shouldn't have been, so that's very nice. And then I put only one card, I put Necroworld Banshee, but we have all of the zombie stuff, which I never really realized how expensive that was. I think overall when a structure deck drops, you should really pick it up because you have a lot of nice cards overall if you need them. You have some cards to hold on to and get rid of them if they get more expensive. And also you need cards like zombies, something very generic, to just have if they get very expensive, but also very useful in a meta, so you don't need to pay a bit too much to get an engine when you really should just pick up the structure decks when they dropped. So if you didn't, however, and you need this engine or overall just want to play zombies, maybe in tandem with Outledge, it's very, very, very accessible right now. Next up, we have two that have been confirmed before, and it's Fiber, the first one. And Fiber is, it's a very, touchy topic in the last couple of months, I guess. It really started going wild. Just Fiber didn't really feel as unhealthy at some points in time because they would hit stuff like Link Cross, like other things that were a bit more annoying to deal with in a format. But right now, Fiber is enabling so much, and it's also quite expensive, of course, consequentially. So yeah, if someone wants to pick it up, it's going to be a bit more accessible. I'm cool if it gets hit, I'm cool with that. But those that maybe want to pick up the reprint, could be more afraid how much sense that actually makes picking it up if it's going to get hit. So you really need to decide, but it's still going to be a bit more cheap if you still want to own it. And then the next one, also spoiled beforehand, was Rise of the Mega Monarch. Yeah, I mean, Flunder it's a very accessible deck. Everything became very, very inexpensive, like immediately after the release. The new quick play spell card is a bit more on the pricey side, I guess, comparing it to the rest of the deck. But Ryza was very expensive. So it's very nice to see, you know, even though the deck is maybe not as popular and some people don't really like it or like to play against it, it's still nice to see that if an expensive card in a deck or an archetype, whatever it may be, if it gets too expensive, but a lot of people are playing the strategy, it's still cool to see a reprint. Like for all of the Flunder players, it's really nice to have Ryza. Then the next one I'm personally really excited about, and it's Sky Cavalry Centauria. I remember when I don't really remember which deck I wanted to pick it up for, but I googled it and I was like, wow, that's way too expensive. Why is that so expensive? And with the Splight archetype, since everything is revolving around level, rank, or link 2 stuff, Sky Cavalry is kind of a must in the deck. And it was very expensive, but it's also just incredible. It's strong, it makes Zeus easily, also has a cool effect in the battle phase as well. So it's not just one of those Xyz monsters that can sort of survive, so you make Zeus, also has an effect. So I would say this is the card I'm most excited about from Ghosts from the Past, and I wanted to put it on this list. So make sure to get your hands on that if you're planning on playing Splight, or if you just want to own it. And then we have 2 more Link monsters. The first one is going to be Deco Talker Heat Soul. So Heat Soul is it seems decent, you know, I guess more than decent. It seems really nice. We have seen it perform in the OCG with a sort of control-based Code Talker. It's also nice support for Adagnister, Code Talker, obviously. And yeah, it has a very specific effect, but you can really utilize it, and at some point, you're not just going to be drawing a card, you actually will have life points so low that you may also use the second part of the effect. It makes it easy to link climb into access codes, so a really, really solid card. And the last one is going to be Boreal End Dragon. This one is a bit... I don't want to sound weird, but I feel a bit bad that it got here to the TCG so late, because right now Dragon Link is so power crept. And I never thought I was going to be saying that, like ever, that Dragon Link is going to be a deck that's power crept, but it really does feel that way. So yeah, you know, Boreal End is nice and all, but it seems as though it may not be enough for Dragon Link to compete still. So I may be wrong for saying that. We will see. And I still think it's a card worth putting on this list. I think it's a very strong and incredible card. But yeah, it just seems a bit, I guess, not enough for Dragon Link. Hopefully it's not the case, because I love the deck a lot and a lot of people do. But yeah, it's really strong, but maybe not strong enough. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And yeah, with the Boreal End Dragon, we will be concluding this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you will be picking up any of those cards or anything else, and what you think of Ghosts from the Past, the second Haunting overall. If you liked it, of course, also like it and give me a sub. Check out all of the social media, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!